Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Mooji Baba ki Jai. We were joking after Satsang yesterday that as long as you play the cat, the master has to be the owl. What does this mean? As long as you keep saying meow, meow, the master has to come and ask who. All of this confusion is just this misrepresentation of me. And now some of you are already seeing that it's strangely funny that you were taking just some perceptions, some sensations, and all the time just referring to those as me. Yeah, that's strange. All of them appearing in the same space, your own existence. But this existence you have not taken to be what it truly is. You have taken it to be something that is contained in these sensations. It's so upside down that our existence has been taken to be something which is contained in those sensations that we call the body. What a hypnosis it has been. Isn't it apparent to you now that all that we call this body, these sensations, are just appearing within the same space where this voice is appearing, where all perceptions are appearing. And we've taken a few of these and said, this is me and this is outside me. See? And this separation, this duality is the primary confusion, primary cause of all suffering. If you did not make this distinction, or let's go a step further today and say if you did not make any distinction, not even distinction of world, body, mind, nothing which is me or mine. Do you depend on these distinctions for your existence? All these are just constructs. All these are just belief systems. Not the appearance of this play, not the appearance of this realm, but the distinctions are just constructs. Thought constructs. We've been discussing this. What is the body? We've taken a set of sensations and a set of perceptions and included that into one theoretical notion called body. We've taken another set of sensations and perceptions and call that mind. See? And then we have a super notion called body-mind in Advaita circle. All notional. In just the appearance of all of this, there is no distinction being made. And the trouble with distinction is only that it leads to this false sense of separation. Something gets treated as me and something else gets treated as other. This is duality. This is separation, which has never really happened. So look around. Actually look around without interpretation or judgment. Is there me or another? Is there any separation? Do you have a boundary?
My age, it is my age.
Huh?
My age, it's my age.
Oh, yes. Who's the me? Whose each it is? You see, this is the thing. I'm not saying that the itch will not appear. The sensation will still appear. You see? But isn't it in the same space of existence? Is your itch appearing in a different space compared to where this voice is appearing? It's in the same space where this body is being perceived. So why you call that sensation my? I know you're joking, but still it's a good point. Why we call that sensation mine and this sensation outside me, or this voice another's voice? Okay. How do you hear your voice? Also in the same space. You see, but one is my voice, another is not mine. You see? And this is not natural to us. We have been taught this. As children, we have been taught this. This is you, this defines you, this is another. Naturally, you're just effortlessly existing, containing all things, containing all appearances.
But the other body,
Yeah.
that appears to be.
It appears to be another without interpretation as another. That's why I said look around, without interpretation or judgment. You're seeing all these qualitative appearances, but does the sense of me and another come without a notion? This hand is appearing, that hand is appearing, that hand is appearing. Without a notion, does it become my hand and another hand? No, just appearances in the same space of perception, in the same space of existence. Then what can happen? The second thing is that we seem to have this visual perspective, the centrality of the visual perspective, which seems to be centered around this body and seem to be looking outwards from here. And that's why so many of us, although we know this is not true, we still feel like I must be an object which is sitting inside this head. You see? That's why I asked this question, is the back of your head in front of you, behind you? Where is it in relation to you? It's a good contemplation, although it can seem a bit strange, because it looks at this belief we have that I am something contained within this container, body container. But then when we observe the sensations which we call the back of my head and try to find our relationship with that, we find that it's just another sensation occurring in the same space. See? It's so funny that we live this way. Then we say, when I say go inside, we check inside. Many of us feel we are checking inside the body. But you as a doctor, you know that we are not checking this in the body. You check inside, go to your heart, experience the presence of your existence. We say these words, isn't it? But you know, as a doctor, that If you were to open the physical heart, it is just a pump, pumping blood. You see? So this inside is not inside this body. It is beyond this four-dimensional realm. Your existence is prior, is beyond this four-dimensional realm. This is just an appearing, a manifest instrument. And these things which are so obvious right under our nose, you see, we've never really looked. You just say, go inside, okay, I'll close my eyes, I go inside. I must be visiting inside my body or something. We're not. What is this inside? What is this space of perception in which imagination, memories, thoughts, sensation of the body, all of this is perceived? Is it a different space compared to when all this other visual stimuli is available? Where is all this appearing? Is it in a different space? It's one perception, one being, one appearance. And as you check this, you will find that even beyond this, I was saying the other day, why you take only some sensations and call them me? Why don't you take then every sensation, every perception and call it me? Why don't you take that entire space in which all these sensations and perceptions, including thoughts, memories, imagination, everything, call it me? Then you say, but even in this, there is something. Why don't you take that which witnesses all of this also? If you have to use I or me for something, make it fully inclusive then. This is the great part about Advaita. We can make everything fully inclusive and say it is I and see it is I. Or you can say that not this, not this, not this, not this, but you come to the same place, that which includes everything. Why? Because the greatest aspect of yourself, the greatest aspect of yourself is this unchanging awareness. The dynamic aspect for it is just like a flickering movement of light and sound. There where you find this that is aware, this self which is aware.
Because there is no one to really claim it.
No one to claim it.
That's
Yes.
why, that's the reason we keep excluding it.
Yes.
Because something will claim it
Yes.
within that.
Yes.
And then we limit ourselves to
Yes.
that boundary because
Yes.
something is coming and claiming
Yes.
that, like in the perception.
Exactly. Exactly. And what you say is true, but if you were to truly look at it, in reality, that is all you can claim. That is actually all that you can claim. The one that claims everything else is the no one. You see, the one that claims my body, my family, my relationship, my freedom, my health. You see, that is the no one. You don't find this one. Over the years, how many times I've asked in Satsang, so who is the one that wants freedom? Produce that one. I will give it to that one. You see, you never produce that one. Because that is a no one. It doesn't exist. The one that is truly here is only the self. See? But I know what you mean. And this false claimant of all property, you see, he's a lawyer, so I'm speaking like a lawyer. This false claimant of all property is a non-existent one. But it has a lawyer, which is the voice in your head. You check Check with the mind, who is your client? Who are you representing? Keep saying me, me, you, of course, you. What do you mean who? But who is that one? Let's not go there. What's the point of asking? Like that. Many times, when I start speaking to someone who's not in satsang about the inquiry, it's like, so what do you get? What do you get if you ask who you are? Is it very peaceful? Is it very joyful? Is that what you get? I think suppose you did not get anything at all. You did not find, like you were saying, did not find any bliss, did not find any peace, did not find any joy. Wouldn't it still be worthwhile to find out who you are? Because everything that you seem to be doing is for this you. If you're climbing a wall, don't you want to find out for whose benefit you're climbing this wall? You see? That's why there comes a point where the longing becomes so deep that we don't care what happens as a result of this recognition, as a result of this realization. We don't care about the perks. We just want to know what is real, what is true. Because it is worth it. Even in this apparent play, there is something that is worth it. It is the dropping of the falls and this truth becoming so apparent.
For whom? For whom?
So, as I said, in the apparent play,
This absorption.
that's why I said that even if these byproducts were not there, suppose I was to tell you that no crying, no bliss, no tears, nothing. Nothing will happen to you. You see? All this is when happening, it's fine, forget it. You see? It has nothing to do with the reality of what you are. Would you still long for the truth or no?
It's happening. Nobody is there.
Yeah. And how you know about this?
Something is missing. Enjoying. Something is enjoying.
So he says that all of this is happening. There's nobody there. Then I said, so how do you know about this happening? You know about this happening?
Something else.
Either we are making it up like a concept. There are two things, right? Either it could be something which is conceptually, the world is moving, the earth is rotating around the sun. You see? We have a concept of it. You see? Or we are aware of its functioning, happening. You see? So when you say that there is nobody there, it is all just a happening, then is this an inference like a concept, or is this your direct insight? In either case, you have to be there. You have to be there. But the problem that has happened is that the you or the I has been used in the wrong way for so long that when it is being used for this qualityless, attributeless self, then to the mind it can feel like But I'm not there. You are there. You are all there is anyway. You are all there is. You see? So this you can seem like such a different you compared to what you thought you were. That it can feel like I can't use the same I for this and that. So when we say that in Satsang also, many times we say that there is nobody there. What do we mean? We mean that there is nobody there personally. There is no individual entity there. But all is you. You are all there is.
Father, when you look at this without emotion,
Yes.
can't even see whether the breathing is inside or outside.
Yes.
Whether the breathing is the outside breathing in, is the inside breathing out.
Yeah.
You know, even that can't
Yes.
be.
Because the idea outside and inside is just notional also. There is no separation, no boundary of any sort actually.
But there's just the awareness of it.
Yes.
Either way.
Yeah.
Either way. That's the unchanging part. Which
Yes.
is
Even completely full of identification, completely full of motion, the awareness is just the awareness. Either way. You have a question? Okay, let's look. I just randomly read what I'm reading. Why has consciousness chosen to temporarily zoom in on this body in particular? Why has not consciousness chosen two bodies at once to have awareness of? Why is, after the self, the body to be seeming to be somewhat a constant in this life? Apologies if the question is cumbersome. No, it's a good question. Yeah. So maybe this is just level 1 of the play. Once you feel like, oh, everything that happens to this body, everything, all the sensations, all the things that seem to happen to this body, this is no big deal. Then maybe you start to feel everybody around you like your own body. There are no limits to consciousness. And when you have actually reported this experience, and at some level it already happens for us. You see, I take this example of if you're driving on the road and somebody, a bicyclist, a cyclist in front of you falls down, hurts his knee, you also say ouch, but nothing happened to your body. Some pain, some experience is being felt here also. So as we grow in our spaciousness, then you will find that this seemingly zooming in on one body is not is no longer necessarily a constraint. Also, what happens is that we have another experience of this. The minute we start calling another body mine, my wife, my children, then if something happens to that body, then we experience some pain because of that. How is it possible? Because we are opening ourselves up to that recognition. We are opening up ourselves up to that experience. The thing is that as we drop me and mine, then we're completely open to whatever experience, whatever taste, whatever perception we have to taste. I guess the question was more of why is the perspective from this body And this body senses in particular. Why this one? Maybe it is just a mystery. Yes, it is a mystery in one way. Actually, there is no answer to any why. Like I've been saying that answer to all why is consciousness. And yet, we are not even sure that this is the case. Maybe this is the only moment you have with this body. Is it? To presume that really you had a past with it is just to rely on something so unreliable called the memory, which is available even for the dream body. As you know, you don't start a dream in the state of amnesia. You recognize the people there, what happened to this body. See, if your dream body had a scar, then you would be able to look at that scar and say, this happened when I was a child, when I had an accident. Is it? So consciousness is playing intimately with the sensations of this particular body, but we can't truly say whether it has been like this and for how long it has been or will be. Yes. It's a beautiful, beautiful mystery. Something else before this. Aparna said, thoughts are also heard as voice of mind, as if I am speaking. Yes, but we did this and everybody has a different experience of this. Yeah. Many years ago, I don't know how many of you were there, but we did this exercise where we said, so how do your thoughts appear to you? See? For some, they appear visually, like this, like this. Okay? For some, they appear visually like this, like this. For some, it's like an audio, they're hearing audio thought. For some, it is coming like neon flash. So the perception of thoughts and how they are perceived is also consciousness is playing with it in a very unique way. Some, when we did this exercise, what? It's neither audio nor visual. What do you mean? How are they perceived? But it's good to look and check. How many of you hear it as a voice? Audio, visual, audio, visual.
It's also
Yeah, it's just energy. It's just energy actually. But how is it perceived? Yes.
But sometimes whenever a thought arises, it also has a reaction
Yeah.
somewhere
But
energetically.
what is that arising? When we say thought arises, what is perceived that we say thought arises?
So all the senses will depend if you hear something.
Okay, wait for your next thought and tell me how it is perceived.
Now there's a thought of eating in a sense. Can't say much.
Wait, slowly.
It's a sensation.
Yeah, just a sensation, which is perceived qualitatively in which way?
Feeling.
As a feeling. Yes, David says nothing in actuality. All of this play, this energetic movement, ultimately is not a thing at all. So if the only seeming trouble is this me, me, because it otherwise no trouble. If there was no ow, no trouble. You see? The seeming trouble is because this suffering is there, you see, which is a result of the idea of a me that can suffer. You see? And the logical question then would be, so what can I do about the me? As long as there's a me, the me has these attributes: doership, desire, the sense of separation, duality, the 3D me. So this notion can be there. So what can I do? Is there something I can do to not play this cat? And one is that allow the owl to come into your life. Okay, who? Who? Second is to allow all these emotions to just come and go. Just allow them to come and go. As they arise, they're not given a resting space of your belief, of your identification, and they just. And even if they are believed, the good news is that you're free of your entire belief system in this moment. Can there be something more beautiful? That you could be identified for 1,000,000 lifetimes. But when you check on yourself this moment, in the freshness of this now, it is all gone. Then the next offer will come from the mind. But, is it really gone? Come. Like that. And then you buy into that offer and seem like the entire pool of conditioning, the entire tree of karma seems to come back. Actually, all are pretend doing or not doing. It's just part of the appearance of this world. Ultimately, your own grace as consciousness just switches out of this limitation. And then some of you have an apparent awakening moment, like a facepalm moment. What? And some of you just are very sober inside. Ah, very straightforward. This that was God has always been God, has been taken to be something limited, something personal, which is not true. I see that there is no such person, and yet I exist. Is it? All of you, I'm speaking on your behalf. I see that there is no person, and yet my existence is here. That which exists is only one. See? Without making up a notion, without making up an idea, I've never experienced the two-ness. I've only experienced oneness. It's like one piece of paper. We draw conceptual notions of them and say India, Russia, Europe, America. Really? But the paper is one. Then you start saying, if you pick up the notion of countries, A child has no such notion. A 1-year-old, okay, for age is a piece of paper. With all appearances are still appearing. See, this is what I'm saying actually. All these appearances are still appearing. But till you have the notion, another, Dishti, Jyotima, Saro, you don't have these labels, these notions. Just one piece of paper. God's drawing board. There is no real distinction between this example and what we seem to be doing in the world. Looking at an appearance and saying that is this one, that is Dishti, that is Gopala. Where is Gopala? Is there such a thing as Gopala? Is there such a thing as Drishti? Is there such a thing as Ananta? It's just one being. Why consciousness?
Pots appeared.
Huh?
Pot became a potter.
What?
Potter.
Is it part of the same metaphor? Introducing a new one now. So we have maps, we have country. Did you keep a pot on top of the map? You were saying something.
With the map example, when you began the satsang today, and us to look around the room.
Yeah.
It's very similar to this because initially
exactly.
there was so much resistance to even like no need to open your eyes and look around. But it was so easy to first see that even just looking, there is the interpretive mind is just looking at different objects, some distinction, some story, trying to convince that this is, or whatever other sensations are coming, trying to do all that. So, in a moment when like, not giving into what it is, it feels just like this map. Without, and at one point it felt really scary because suddenly looking at all these objects external and not relating with a story felt scary in a way.
This is very good. Not very good that it felt scary. It was very good to, because sometimes they can seem like, oh, what's the point? I've looked around so many times. What's the big deal? When you look around without judgment, without interpretation, it feels like the ground from under your feet has been pulled out. This idea that you were contained in something, because you're now without interpretation, you're only meeting yourself. Something feels like this is the death of individuality. This is a big fear of the unknown. All this kind of fear can come. But it's good to, just like this, we don't have to undertake some major pilgrimages just to taste this for what it is. This is more than very good report.
Are you saying that when somebody would ask you why, like, what do you get out of
Yes.
this? I mean, the only thing that arises here is just the openness to be yourself. I mean, you're looking at this because you can just be yourself without torturing yourself about what you're being, and you can just openly just share that. And then in that you find that there is no limitation and boundary. Isn't that itself something that somebody would want to go towards? Or you would, even as an individual, don't you want to really go towards it to see your own expansiveness?
Yes. And you see that although this idea of limitlessness is very attractive to most beings, the interpretation from the mind becomes having siddhis, superpowers. Will I be able to predict the future? Will I be able to change the past? Will I be able to time travel? Will I be able to be at 5 places at the same time? You see? You are actually all of this and much more. But still, when the me is carried, you see, when the me is carried along, then it can feel like it must, power must mean that. Isn't it the most powerful that you are the light of this universe itself? The appearance of this entire play is in your light with all of this time, space, gravity, electricity, light, magnetism, sound, all of this is happening in your very presence. But then if something is tweaked here and there, if something, if some like appearance of some object was appearing dead and suddenly it comes alive, that becomes like a miracle. But what about the space in which all the miracle is happening? That's not a miracle. That's taken for granted. Yeah? All this time is appearing within you. You are the perceiver of it. You've experienced many different types of time. You've experienced dreams in which in this world's time only little bit time has passed, but the full lifetime has passed in a dream. You've experienced all of this with time. But if you can predict, okay, tomorrow morning for breakfast you're going to eat this, that is a superpower. This is the thing. This is how limitlessness is understood in this world. And as I am, what I'm pointing you to is your limitlessness, which is your effortless existence. And but the condition has become so deeply ingrained. The notion of limitation, the notion of individuality, seems to have become so deeply ingrained that these minor peanuts seem to be what we call limitlessness. And this limitlessness which you're tasting now, oh, what's this in this? Yeah.
Those peanuts you call them,
Yeah.
somehow also they're kind of eye opener because you're so limited. Like for me, like it has been like that, like very scientific, and then this is like miracles appearing. Like just for example, now I've thought like 10 minutes ago about, oh, my glasses, I should pick them up because maybe they arrive soon, but I don't know when. And now just they called me.
Yes.
I'm like, what? I'm like, serious? Like now?
Yeah.
So like those peanuts are still like, okay, wow. I'm not just
It's
like
right.
this
It's
thing
right.
here.
That's right what you say. Some of this, just the right amount of this much is enough. You see, like if you see 50 books of Brahmanashram, one will be a book about the experiences of some miraculous grace in Bhagavan. It's just the right amount to just open us up from our limited existence. And for you, I remember from the beginning since you've been coming to Satsang, it's always been something like, oh, but I just thought of this. Oh, but I.
That book, Autobiography of a Yogi,
Yeah.
the reason it takes everybody on the journey, I guess for me,
Correct.
it was one of those.
Same.
Because it just kind of gives you, oh, out of the ordinary, this is possible. And then from that, when you go into the simplicity of it, it's like, does that even matter? You know, it's like, what is that?
Absolutely. That's why many of us, same here also, that Autobiography of a Yogi was the first book, and it was so attractive because it felt like, wow, look at these guys, he could be at the railway station and at home at the same time. That's what I want. It starts off like that. But the funny thing is, that even situations which are appearing to one of you seem too much to handle right now. This is what I was saying to somebody was saying that why just one body? First, let's learn to handle one. That's what I was saying. This is like maybe like level 1. You go to another realm where all of you are just like two bodies. Everybody is born as twins, and making light of it. But the thing is that for consciousness, there is no real limitation like that.
It doesn't feel impossible at all.
It
I
is
mean,
not.
when you're connected with someone on a very, very, very deep
Exactly.
level, like Shweta and I've had a connection for the last 4 years, where we've actually felt like one being, you know, and it's been a common experience, like with you, recognition. It's been like that.
Gabriel said, please no level 2. You don't have to worry about any of this. Only all that happens is your will, actually, but not your will personally. Your will as the self, your will is consciousness. You'll be astounded as to the amazing reality that you are. This is what you considered yourself to be. There'll be some time before even this settles down and becomes more natural. It is just this time of wonder. It's this time of deep wonder. And this outer coconut will be sitting in this like. Yeah? Sometimes with a big grin. Sometimes. I would read the Yoga Vashisht many years ago before I met Guruji. I would just read the Yoga Vashisht. And with the Yoga Vashisht, you read one story, after that story, you just. And my wife would come to the room. She would say, "What's happened to you? What are you thinking about? Something bothering you?" And I was just this is this wonder as to really what is this?
You can't even say I.
Can't say I.
You can't start a sentence.
Can't start a sentence.
It's so confusing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say nothing. That's why I look like a fool all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Greatest fool. It's the best fool ever. The seeming switching over of power. No? Guruji says that from when you go from the switch over from person to being, then symptomatically some of these things can start to appear for us. And again, I'm saying every time that it is never the same for any aspect of consciousness. It's always playing with variety, it's always playing with different. So none of this must become like an expectation. But for those who are just finding these experiences in their life and family, I'm just reassuring you that it's very, very natural. All look so alien, Father, like I'm not even on the planet, just a remote sensory instrument. Yes, and that is like one toenail that you have. This which we consider ourselves to be I for so long, and you see that it's still around, but it is not the entirety of my existence. The entirety of my existence contains everything, and yet it is not out of place. It still has room for a million more universes to appear. Because nothing actually takes up any real space within it. Just like on a movie screen, you can project one picture of the entire solar system, or you can show one drawing room. The screen remains untouched. So this notion of space is just like the notion of time. It can seem to have some tangible reality to it, but on the screen of consciousness is nothing. You see, this was beautiful the other day in Satsang. It came up like this, that this now that we are speaking about is not a moment in time. The now that we are speaking about has contained all moments in time. The now that the now of your existence, you are here now, this now. Is it touched by time? Time is just a notional measure of the rate of change or something like that. So stay with your existence, stay with that nowness, and thing is changing. So because this hand is moving, you know that a movement of time is happening in the world. Is it? But that nowness, is it changing? Is something moving for that? Has it aged a few seconds? No. There is no notion like that for it. So it is beyond time. In the same way, if you step out to the terrace, you will see this big panoramic view. Okay? And if you just look like this, you will see a tiny, but has something really changed for the spaciousness of your being? Nothing. Just the visual is changing. Okay? Just what is projected on the screen is changing. Your being is the same. So untouched by time and space, untouched by any perception. This being, this God, the Supreme, is here now, and it is you. It's scrolling. So, Father, it's so clear that there is only this awareness. Mind is shouting out loud. It can't be this simple. Yes, this feels stronger than to say awareness. Somehow I can't grasp this I am, I exist, I am alive. Probably mind tries to perceive. It's clear, but not crystal clear that I am. So if I say just don't be right now, don't be. You say that, what kind of question is that? This is it. It is that simple. Don't try to make it simple for the mind. Or don't try to get the mind to accept this. You see it. I say don't be. Right now, don't be. Just for one moment, don't exist. I'm still here. I cannot not exist. Why? This which cannot go is not a coming and going. You see, you cannot turn it on and off like this. This being, this existence is what Guruji says is the deity of the waking state. Your very existence. And ultimately, you are beyond even this. Because even this you are aware of. As your own dynamic aspect. That which is effortless, silent, innocent, witness, even this is so beyond all mental constructs. That which is not a thing and yet is all things. Because all things are made up of just that. They arise from just that and go back into just that. It is that clay which is making all these various pots of various shapes and sizes. But it itself is not a thing. We'll save up the questions for next time. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Mooji Baba ki
Jai. Satguru Shri Ananta-Part ki Jai.